The wrestling world has been turned completely upside down, and what just happened on Monday Night Raw has left everyone in absolute shock. Nick Aldis just dropped the most explosive announcement in recent WWE history, and the revelation about who attacked Jade Cargill has sent shockwaves through the entire wrestling community. If you thought you knew what was coming, you were dead wrong, because this twist is something nobody saw coming. And before we dive into this incredible story, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because you do not want to miss any of the jaw-dropping developments that are about to unfold in the WWE Universe. Jade Cargill has been one of the most dominant forces in WWE since she arrived, and her presence in the women's division has been nothing short of extraordinary. She came in with an aura of invincibility and quickly established herself as someone who could not be stopped. Her partnership with Bianca Belair became one of the most formidable alliances in the company, and together they were unstoppable. The chemistry between these two powerhouses was electric, and fans watched in awe as they demolished every team put in front of them. Their reign as champions seemed like it would last forever, and nobody could figure out how to crack the code of their dominance. Everything changed when Jade Cargill was found brutally attacked backstage. The scene was chaotic, and the severity of the attack immediately raised concerns about her health and safety. Medical personnel rushed to her aid, and the WWE Universe was left in a state of confusion and worry. The attack was vicious and deliberate, and it was clear that someone wanted to take out one of the most powerful women in the entire company. Jade was rushed to a medical facility, and the initial reports were concerning. She had sustained serious injuries, and there were questions about when or if she would be able to return to the ring. The mysteries surrounding the attack became the hottest topic in wrestling. Everyone had theories, and speculation ran wild across social media and wrestling forums. Fans debated endlessly about who could have done this and why. Was it a jealous competitor who felt overshadowed by Jade's success? Was it someone from her past who had a score to settle? Was it a calculated move by someone looking to climb the ladder by taking out the competition? The possibilities seemed endless, and every week that passed without answers only made the intrigue grow stronger. Bianca Belair was devastated by the attack on her partner. She vowed to find out who was responsible and promised that justice would be served. Her determination to uncover the truth became a driving force on Raw, and she left no stone unturned in her investigation. Bianca confronted various superstars and demanded answers, but everyone claimed innocence. The locker room was tense, and there was an atmosphere of suspicion that hung over every interaction. Trust became a rare commodity, and alliances were questioned as everyone wondered who among them could be capable of such a heinous act. Nick Aldis, as the general manager of Raw, found himself in an incredibly difficult position. He had to maintain order while also conducting a thorough investigation into the attack. The pressure on him was immense because the entire WWE Universe demanded answers. Week after week he appeared on Raw to provide updates, but each time he had little new information to share. The investigation seemed to hit dead end after dead end, and frustration mounted among fans and wrestlers alike. Some began to question whether the truth would ever come to light, or if this would remain one of wrestling's great unsolved mysteries. Then everything changed in one explosive moment. Nick Aldis came out to the ring with a serious expression that immediately told everyone something major was about to happen. The arena fell silent as he grabbed the microphone, and the tension was thick. He began by acknowledging how difficult the past several weeks had been, and how the attack on Jade Cargill had cast a shadow over the entire show. He talked about the exhaustive investigation that had been conducted and how every lead had been followed. Then he paused, and the pause felt like it lasted forever as everyone waited with bated breath for what he was about to reveal. The name that came out of Nick Aldis's mouth shocked everyone to their core. The attacker was someone who had been hiding in plain sight all along. It was someone who had played the role of concerned friend and ally while secretly harboring jealousy and resentment. The revelation sent the crowd into an absolute frenzy, and the reaction on social media was immediate and explosive. Wrestling fans around the world could not believe what they had just heard, and the ramifications of this announcement began to sink in immediately. The attacker's motive became clear once the truth was revealed. It was all about jealousy and the feeling of being overshadowed. While Jade Cargill was receiving all the accolades and attention, the attacker felt like they were being pushed to the side and forgotten. Every championship celebration and every moment in the spotlight for Jade was like a dagger to the heart of someone who believed they deserved that recognition instead. The resentment built up over time, and eventually it reached a boiling point. The attack was not a spontaneous act of violence, but rather a carefully planned assault designed to eliminate the competition and clear a path to the top. The evidence that Nick Aldis presented was damning and irrefutable. Security footage had been analyzed frame by frame, and witness testimonies had been collected and verified. The investigation had been thorough and meticulous, and every piece of evidence pointed to the same conclusion. There was no room for doubt and no way for the attacker to deny their involvement. The presentation of this evidence during the announcement made it clear that this was not speculation or accusation, but rather established fact backed up by concrete proof. The reaction from the WWE locker room was swift and severe. Superstars who had been friends with the attacker felt betrayed and deceived. The level of duplicity required to carry out such an attack while maintaining a facade of innocence shocked everyone. Conversations were had and relationships were severed as people realized they had been manipulated. The attacker had played everyone for fools, and the anger over this deception was palpable throughout the entire roster. Some wrestlers called for immediate punishment while others simply wanted to distance themselves from someone capable of such calculated cruelty. Bianca Belair's response to the revelation was particularly powerful. She had been searching for answers for weeks, and now that she finally had them, the emotion was overwhelming. Her initial shock quickly turned to rage, and she made it clear that there would be consequences for what happened to her partner. Bianca demanded a match, and she wanted it to happen as soon as possible. She was not interested in waiting or following proper channels. She wanted immediate justice, and she wanted it in the ring where she could deliver it personally. Her intensity and determination made it clear that this was far from over and that the real confrontation was still to come. The attackers' attempt to justify their actions fell on deaf ears. They tried to explain how they had been overlooked and underappreciated and how desperate they had become for recognition. They claimed that Jade Cargill had taken opportunities that should have been theirs and that the attack was a necessary evil to level the playing field. But nobody was buying these excuses. The WWE Universe and the entire locker room saw it for what it really was, which was a cowardly act committed by someone who was not good enough to compete fairly and resorted to violence instead. The attempted justification only made people angrier and more determined to see justice served. The implications for future storylines are massive. This revelation opens up so many possibilities for where things go from here. The feud between Bianca Belair and the attacker is going to be intense and personal in a way that few feuds ever achieve. There is real emotion and real stakes involved, and fans are going to be invested in every single moment of this rivalry. The question of when Jade Cargill will return and what her response will be adds another layer of intrigue. Will she come back looking for revenge, or will she focus on moving forward and reclaiming her position at the top of the division? The women's division as a whole has been completely shaken up by these events. The power dynamics have shifted and new opportunities have emerged for others to step up. With Jade Cargill out of action and the attacker likely facing serious consequences, there is a vacuum at the top that several competitors are eager to fill. This creates fresh matchups and new storylines that can keep fans engaged for months to come. The butterfly effect of this one attack is going to be felt throughout the entire division, and the landscape of Raw's women's roster may never be the same. Social media exploded with reactions to Nick Aldis' announcement. Wrestling fans from all corners of the internet shared their shock and disbelief. Trending topics dominated Twitter, and YouTube channels immediately began posting reaction videos and analysis. The consensus was that this was one of the most shocking reveals in recent memory, and that WWE had successfully kept the secret under wraps until the perfect moment. The ability to surprise fans in an era where everything seems to leak online is a rare achievement, and WWE deserves credit for the execution of this storyline from start to finish. Behind the scenes, the decision to go with this particular reveal was apparently made after careful consideration of multiple options. Creative had several different directions they could have taken the story, but ultimately decided that this choice would have the most impact and create the best long-term storytelling opportunities. The performer chosen to be the attacker was reportedly informed weeks in advance and has been preparing for the character shift that comes with such a major heel turn. The commitment to keeping the secret within a small circle of people was essential to maintaining the surprise, and everyone involved deserves recognition for their professionalism. The medical update on Jade Cargill following the announcement provided some relief to concerned fans. While the attack was serious and she has been dealing with legitimate injuries, the prognosis for her return is positive. She has been undergoing treatment and rehabilitation and is working hard to get back to full strength. The timeline for her return has not been officially announced, but insiders suggest it could be sooner than many expect. When she does come back, the pop from the crowd is going to be absolutely thunderous, and her first confrontation with her attacker will be must-see television. Nick Aldis himself has received praise for how he handled the entire situation. As general manager, he showed leadership and determination in getting to the truth. His announcement was delivered with the perfect mix of authority and emotion, and he made it clear that such actions would not be tolerated under his watch. The respect he has earned from both fans and performers has only increased through this ordeal. He has established himself as someone who will fight for what is right and who will not rest until justice is served. This has added legitimacy to his character and made him more than just an authority figure, but rather someone fans can believe in and support. The broader conversation about backstage attacks in wrestling has also been reignited by these events. While such attacks are a common storytelling device in professional wrestling, this particular instance felt more real and more serious than most. The commitment to treating it as a legitimate assault rather than just another angle added weight and importance to the story. It created genuine concern for Jade Cargill's well-being and made fans emotionally invested in finding out who was responsible. This approach to storytelling shows that when done correctly, wrestling can blur the lines between fiction and reality in ways that create compelling television. Looking ahead, the upcoming episodes of Raw are going to be absolutely crucial. The immediate aftermath of this revelation will play out in real time, and fans are eager to see how everyone involved responds. Will there be an immediate confrontation, or will WWE take their time building to the eventual showdown? Will other wrestlers get involved, or will this remain a focused rivalry between the key players? These questions and many more will be answered in the coming weeks, and the anticipation is at an all-time high. The story of Jade Cargill's attack and the shocking revelation of her attacker will go down as one of the defining storylines of this era in WWE. It has everything that makes professional wrestling great, which is mystery, drama, emotion, betrayal, and the promise of justice being served. Nick Aldis's announcement was the payoff to weeks of build-up, and it delivered in spectacular fashion. What happens next is anybody's guess, but one thing is certain, which is that the WWE Universe will be watching closely and hanging on every development, because this story is far from over and the best may still be yet to come. So make sure you subscribe to stay updated on all the latest developments in this incredible saga, because you absolutely do not want to miss what happens next in this explosive